Okay, so here we are. Let's see. I think everything is set up and ready to go. I think we look good. I think everything's in its right place. So I had to make some adjustments. So if I'm off somewhere off frame or something like that, I apologize. But I'll look at it to make sure we're all good. But we're here again on a Mass Effect lore stream. And yes, I took a nap before getting on here. You know what? I forgot to do one last thing. I forgot to load one of these launchers here. Let me do that real quick. Because that'll kind of tell me in the background what if we get any subs while we're streaming. However, I don't want it on there for YouTube stuff. So let me go in here and fix that real quick. But how is everybody doing? I think this is up. Yeah, that's up. Okay. And let me make sure I don't have anything else in the way. Let's do that. There we go. So I should still get alerts that if somebody subs to the channel, but they won't change that counter up at the top, because the counter I leave for Twitch, because Twitch, is one of those things. It's very many channels use some kind of information to say, hey, here's what's going on the channel itself. Well, to me, YouTube is one of those things that it's highly replayable. So you don't necessarily need to see what's going on at that moment or whatever. Twitch is one of those that it's kind of like real time is almost better. YouTube to me is definitely VOD friendly. But here we are, another Mass Effect lore stream. I had been talking to a few people, and we're always but some people who have never played the game before, who want more information, and playing that careful role of not trying to give too much information out, and yet not underselling either. And I think we're kind of constantly playing that game. But fortunately, when you come onto this stream at all, if you've never played the game, great, wonderful, welcome on in. But if you have played the game and you just want to tell me about how much you love Garrus or Liara or Thane or Grunt or Rex or anybody, Tali, this is your place to vent. Talk about the background stories for all of them. Talk about what if we did this instead of that. It's been a while since I thought about every single scenario over every playthrough. There are some things that happen that are fairly unique, and I think I ran into one of them this past stream when on Twitch though, and I was playing with Grunt in the party, and we were doing Jacob's loyalty quest. And what was interesting to me is that Grunt comes from the position of, the males that are dominating here, they're just exerting force against each other. I don't see a problem here. This is natural. He doesn't really say it in those words, but that's his context. And I never really put two and two together there. And I've kind of wondered, I imagine it's the same dialogue, but I think I've always done his quest first before I've done Jacob, or at least from what I can remember. I mean, I don't think there would be a change if you bring Grunt after you do his loyalty quest, but I am curious now if he does have a different attitude or says things differently if you take him after he's matured a bit and done his rite of life, where you go to Tuchanka and do all that stuff. But let's see here. Yeah, it looks like Streamlabs for some reason is showing up there. I don't know. That's not what I selected on there. But in fact, let me get off that one. That's not one I want a timer for. Hold up. Let me get rid of that. I keep this other one. It's called the labels, and the labels kind of tell me specifically if I want to know about one specific thing that's going on in the channel, I can have that up, and that's what I have up right now. I didn't need everything to give me a timer on there, and that's what that line was for. Announce we are many, yeah, it's Legion. We are Legion. But I appreciate everybody stopping by, and I am working on video content right now. It's just taken a little while, and when I first had it conceptually to do the Power Wash RPG style video, I don't think it's going to be hard for me to do once I have all the video, but I forgot how many scenarios there are. And it's I have to record the whole thing because I want to do the recording in real time of when you get the messages. So I have to do everything from the beginning all over again. And that's what I'm doing. So that's going to be the next video. And so I've said before that there is lore in Power Wash, but it's not like lore like Mass Effect, obviously. But there is a story there, and it's a weirdly woven story, and it's not like super in depth or anything. It's just really interesting. And so I kind of thought, like, what if I made it in a perspective of an interesting RPG? So that's exactly what I've been doing. I've been recording scenarios. I've been doing all that. And part of me wants to write out the script for it, but part of me almost wants to just record it, put it all together, and then I record my voice as I'm watching the video. So that way I can just overlay it. And that to me, I think might be the best way to do it. The fastest way to put out the stream. I mean, the video. I imagine it might be about an hour-long content thing, because I'm not going to show power washing the whole way, you know, as far as like every single scenario. Otherwise, we'd be, you know, that'd be like a 12-hour video. But I mean, I'm going to edit it, you know, greatly. But yeah, I mean, at the beginning though, I don't have the tools that you have near the end. And so it just takes longer for scenarios that when I would redo them took me just less than a minute or so, because I had everything upgraded, you know. It's not like that anymore. I have to really get in there and do the actual mission. So it's taken me a while to record all that before I actually kind of get going and get that video out there. So I think the fastest way to do it, of course, is just not. So I'm hoping if it works out well that I'll get it out there soon. And then we can get to the more lore heavy stuff that we plan on doing on the channel. Things like, you know, the Mass Effect stuff. And I have some stuff I've already storyboarded for. I'm ready to go with that stuff. I've got lots of video I can go back and use content from, and more or less, it doesn't even have to be like exactly what you see that I'm talking about. There just has to be a running thread. And as long as the, you know, what I write down lore wise does make sense, and we try to keep things cohesive enough to engage with what we're talking about, then I think I can just take clips from throughout Mass Effect, which I have tons of video for, and we can just make, you know, pump out those videos. But I want to get this one out first, and then I want to kind of like, you know, relax, have fun with that, see how that works out, and then move on to the Mass Effect again. But I don't want to get burned out on it, because I just finished the playthroughs for that. And of course, we're doing these streams for it. So I love doing Mass Effect. I think it's great. I mean, I could do this over and over and over, and I have done it over and over and over. But as far as video content goes, because you get in there into the shop and start editing everything, I just didn't want to get burned out. So I'm just doing something on the side. I'm going to put that out there, and that's why there hasn't been a video in a little bit. It's just because I'm getting all the baseline recordings first. And I don't want to have too many projects at one time either, because then it'll just end up being a bad job. So anyway, we are here in Mass Effect 1. The goal for me is to just have fun doing this playthrough, enjoy it with you guys that get to see it. And anybody who wants to talk about anything that we go over, welcome to throw in your 2 cents and we can discuss it. But I also just, Mass Effect 1, I like it. I like how it like sets a nice baseline for everything. but we don't really need that information, so I don't need to do every single mission that's out there. We just need to get through Mass Effect 1 so that we can kind of like play Mass Effect 2, because I'm excited to see how that looks on a VOD in YouTube on the 2K. I'm excited to see that. Of course, I have my cinematic playthroughs. It's not quite the same, though. Not quite the same. So let me see. Let's see where we're going. I don't even, you know what? No, I think we're supposed to, because we just got off this planet, I think we're supposed to talk to Tali. Yeah, I think we're supposed to go talk to Tali and then move forward with what we were doing. Oops. What am I doing? It's been a while. Shepard. Let's go talk to Tali. She should have something to say to us now that we've started the mission for her. We could definitely talk to Ash. That's the thing. I think that's where we left off, is that I started a few missions. We did a few things. We got a few levels underneath our belt. And I said, you know what, now that we're in Tali's loyalty quest, it would be a shame to finish the quest and never talk to her before we, kind of get that going. So let's do that real quick. Tali. I bet. Oh, I've noticed that there's no sound on the game. Hold on.
For as long as we can.
There we go.
Some of the fleet's larger
there we go. Sorry about that.
All the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
Only thing you missed really was the background music and Tali with that opening line or two. So sorry about that. Yeah, there's been no game sounds before now.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work, mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla, grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
So this is really important for my next video after the power wash one. Is we're going to be talking about the Geth. It would make sense to kind of do the Geth and then the Quarians kind of back to back, but I'm going to separate the issues because I really think that if you talk about one type of thing too much, I mean, it almost floods the market with what you're kind of discussing. So I want to put some distance between when we talk about the Geth and when we talk about the Quarians. I think talking about the Geth is going to be kind of important for the channel because, I mean, our channel name is Legion Grey. I've used Legion forever as a tag, even before Mass Effect 2. But since we do so much Mass Effect, why not try to integrate it to, make it kind of work as a theme? So I figure we'll start with the Geth, and we'll go from I think I want to do the Asari after that, but we'll see. I'm not 100% sure. I may just do humans actually, because doing the humans and then revisiting some of my opinions on Ash would make it a little bit easier to connect those dots.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins, what they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So the Geth share brainpower?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
And so that makes a lot of sense. I know that's a lot. It's just, she's basically saying that unlike species that share data, they don't really all think the same. They all just have the same mindset. So they all kind of work in unison, but they don't think the same. So each unit has its ability to make its own decisions based on the issues there, but its issues are going to be, its decisions are going to be guided by the known requirements of the whole and its experiences. So for instance, you're not going to see a Geth that wants to make first contact with humans, with Batarians or whatever. It may not necessarily fight at first contact, but if it gets captured, its likelihood of fighting is probably like a 80% chance, 85% chance. It may have the sensory data based on some experience to say, hey, look, this Batarians may be highly aggressive, they're pirates, but if it has a certain vessel type, it's a 50-50, so that 85% turns to 80%. It's just one of those things that, so it's so unique of a hive mindset, but it's not a hive mindset. It allows the individuals to make decisions based on experiences of the group. So in essence, they seem like they're working together as one, but because they have a greater knowledge of each other's experiences. I don't know if that makes sense. It just really is fascinating, and I think it works well with how advanced the Geth really are, because the more of them you have together, the more they can share that information faster. And anytime it's kind of like the news, for instance. If something amazing happens in the world affairs, and the news that wants to be there on top of things, we want to know. We want to go to the news broadcast that's telling us stuff that is happening right now. We don't want the news that's kind of delayed, and the news takes advantage of that. It tries to be the first one on reporting on scene and stuff. So we are kind of geared to want to think like that. We just don't have the ability to immediately share information through a neural network like they do. It's just really, really interesting.
What made them rebel?
As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
Okay.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
Hey, you can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile, searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
Man, we've gone full circle. So the very first question we asked Tali, she starts talking about the ships and how she loves ships, and we're like, oh, okay, well, what is it about you and ships? And she goes on and tells us about the whole history of Quarians. And of course, the Quarians are so tied to their issues with the Geth that you can't talk about Quarians without talking about Geth. It's really interesting.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place, but we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
What I appreciate about Tali, though, is that even when you disagree with her, she doesn't come at you harshly, and she doesn't necessarily disagree with you either. You know, when she says it, when Shepard says it's hard to feel sorry for you, you tried to wipe out an entire species. She could have said, they're not species, they're not alive. Why would we feel bad when they were attacking us? She could have gone that direction. That is not what she said. She said basically that there wasn't anything wrong with going to war with them because they were, you know, trying to take over. They were also trying to defend themselves. But she never negated the fact that she didn't consider them another species. That's really, really interesting. So even the Quarians, as much as they don't like them, and they could be very dismissive and try to demonize the Geth, they don't. That's really, really important, because that really changes how they can have an opinion about the Geth and how their opinions can be changed and seen differently. If you're dealing with like us and the Batarians, like humans and the Batarians, tons of animosity. There was some of that with the Turians because of the First Contact War, but a lot of that has gone by the wayside. But you get people like Presley who are like, I don't like Turians in general, you know, and that's fine. He has his reasons. He actually has his reasons. They may not be good reasons, but he does have a good he has his own reasons to think that they are good. The Quarians don't really generally feel that way about the Geth. They don't demonize them. They just say, they're our creation, we're responsible for it, and we should try to do what we can to not only get ourselves back to the home world and survive, but also, you know, the Geth are out there, and we need to be cautious with them, but at the same time, they're not the evil things that we make, you know, that they could have made them out to be. It's just fascinating.
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The Geth are not innocent victims in all this. They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. all organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren, and that's why we have to stop him.
Okay, so we've come full circle, and I love that. All we did was talk about the Geth. Let's talk about your pilgrimage.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
So we're going to say that sounds dangerous versus do they always accept? Because we kind of know the Quarians at this point. For the most part, if you go out on a pilgrimage, hey, you may have just barely gone out with your life, and you've done what you could. Maybe you just had a really crappy assignment, or maybe you had a good assignment that went south. Who knows? But for the most part, the Quarians aren't super picky. And they want to see that you're growing as a person. To a lesser degree, you could argue Mass Effect is all about growth and adapting to change. Because the characters that you love most in this game are the ones that grow. I'd argue that Garrus is probably... he grows on you. He doesn't necessarily grow. He doesn't really change, because here's the thing about Garrus. Garrus, no matter what you do, whether you're Paragon, whether you're Renegade, whether you're middle of the road, whether you romance Garrus, whether you're just a good friend, whether you kill off the council, whether you save them, whether he's the last person left on the suicide mission, or if everybody lives in the suicide mission, it doesn't matter what choice you make. Garrus he thinks Shepard is the greatest thing in the universe, no matter what you do. And so a lot of people are endeared to Garrus because of his loyalty. And there's nothing wrong with that. But again, like, he grows on you. He doesn't really grow. He's just one of those, he's the one character who will, no matter what you do, will just love you. So, but everybody else in the game, I could argue, does grow. Even James. The problem with James, of course, you just don't get the opportunity to see him for more than one game. And there's not a lot he doesn't have like a specific loyalty mission or anything like that, but that he had his own movie. And you can't say anything bad about that. He had his own movie. That's pretty good. I don't have my own movie. And I ought to do a thing on James, really. I mean, that would be interesting, do a whole thing on James, because there's tons out there, but most people who've just played the game don't really get that. They're like, oh, he's just this beefcake guy who likes to, he's like this braggart, and I'm James. I can do a lot of pull-ups. I mean, that's their impression of James. That's it. But I really think he's a very valuable member in Mass Effect 3. The last playthrough I didn't use James and Ash, but I wanted to. I wanted to do that. I did Javik, and I kind of regret it. Not because I regret taking Javik. I mean, there's nothing wrong with him. But for the cinematic, if I was going to record and play it, the last, right before you go up into the Citadel for your final decision, Javik's the one who talks to you. And it's like, I mean, we know Javik, but we don't know Javik like that. I mean, we like Javik. We really do like him. So it would have been more... And I was worried that I know it's not going to be James. Usually it's Ash that does that with you. So I thought, that'd be a good scene, because we have been through hell with Ash. But then I thought, no, maybe Tali. And I couldn't decide. And I was like, you know what? How about we just don't decide and we just give it to Javik? Well, I didn't really realize that. I liked the scene. I just don't think it was as impactful if you saw the whole cinematic playthrough. Like, we did a lot of stuff with Javik, but just not enough to really warrant the emotional goodbye. Because we did romance Thane in that one. And I think that's just an underrated romance, if I'm being 100% honest. I think Thane is... If you have the opportunity to do the romance quest with Thane, take it. Because... maybe not as your first playthrough, but if you've done it 2, 3, 4, 5 times, do it. I mean, because you'll see what I'm saying. It's really hard to kind of express that, because Thane is such a thoughtful, soulful, emotionally charged individual. Like, when I say emotionally charged, he doesn't like yell, he doesn't do all that, but he is very specific with his emotions. He's like, he wants to care for his son, so he does everything he can to put himself in the position to handle that, and then he withdraws again, but he saves his emotions for those things that he thinks are worth expressing over, and that makes him a little muted at times, but like I said, Thane as a romance quest line is really, really good, because it really does have an overarching feel to it. You know, like, you miss him. You there's a loss that's there. It's you don't have that connection anymore, no matter what you do. So someone is truly lost. They're truly lost, even in the best scenario. I mean, you know, it's like the suicide mission. If you lose somebody, well, you just reload. You can't reload it. I mean, because Thane's gone. Once he's gone, he's gone. And so if that's the direction you go, it's not a mistake. It's like, well, he's gonna... I've heard it before. It's like, I don't want to romance Thane because then, you know, he dies. I'm like, what does that mean? You know, if it's impactful and you lose him, that should make you feel something. And like I said, if you have the opportunity and you've done other playthroughs, do the Thane one. I think you'll see what I'm saying. I'm doing a poor job of trying to express that, but I really think it's worth trying at least once. Let's see here. All right. Well, it sounds dangerous.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
And then we can say, do they always accept?
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
It's interesting.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Let's talk about the Quarians.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
I think the Quarians also, I don't mean to keep stopping the stream or stopping the story, but the Quarians, if you've ever played Star Wars The Old Republic, there is a race called the Voss. And BioWare, you know, they created the Star Wars Old Republic MMO. I do think there's elements of influence of the Geth with the Voss. not because of the whole technological thing. The Voss are actually very force oriented, and I've been asking BioWare, please make the Voss playable. They have all these other things that you can play as Marilukin and other stuff, and that's fine. But the Voss, I've always thought that if the Voss were playable, I would just probably make one of each character again, just as Voss, because I think the Voss are just so cool. They have these unique skins, like red, but like metallic red, not like the Sith red, where it's kind of like blood red, dark red. You have their eyes are kind of like almost like insect eyes, but they're not. They're much smaller in their hex pattern, so you can see it, but it's not really, obviously like an insect, and they glow, and they're just so. They talk a lot similar to the way Tali does in her accent, because many of the other Quarians don't have the same accent Tali does. She's fairly unique in that. Her and her aunt have the similar accents, but the Voss have their own sound and accent, and it's kind of like that double vocal cord thing that's going on, where there's two different pitches at the same time. So, like I said, the Voss are just very, very cool.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials?
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
There you go.
I should go.
See you later.
See you later. There's Engineer Adams. Now, Adams is pretty cool because he could be a jerk. He could be like, got a Quarian. And you got to remember, Quarians are not well respected amongst the galaxy. They're kind of considered scavengers and just unnecessary because they're not really part of the greater society, They stick to themselves. They don't have a great population. So when you see them, you think, what are they here for? What do they want? Because they're trying to, get what they can to bring back to their fleet, because they don't have much on their own. So there's this negative attitude toward the Quarians, and it's just fascinating that the whole galaxy has a certain mindset about the Quarians. Adams could be like that. Adams could look at this and say, "Nah, this freaking Quarian, what is she? What is she doing here?" But he doesn't. Let's listen to what he says.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tali? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for talent, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
You see, it's easy to like Adams. He looks at it straight the way he should. She's an asset. She's good. She knows her stuff, and it's only a good thing that she's on board. Man, you got to respect that. He could just take this whole negative attitude like Presley does at the beginning. Like, I don't like Turians in general, blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe our best way to win wherever we're at is with this Turian that's on board. He doesn't think that. He's biased, and it brings his ability to recognize the proper course of action, into picture. That's why Shepard's in charge. You need more people like Adams.
Fill me in on the IES stealth system. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Faster
Why
than
doesn't
light.
it work with faster than light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
And it's great that they thought about all this stuff, because not that you need to be cloaked when you're going to FTL, but let's say you were, and let's say you tried to. Well, I mean, you couldn't do that. You're not really invisible. If you look outside, you'll see the ship, but it's masking the heat signatures that ships are using to locate other ships. So in most of these warships, I mean, you don't have the ability to drive it and say, kind of like a jet fighter. The visual requirement to see everything is there. You have to see everything, not just rely on your technology. But ships this size in space, yeah, you have to rely on your technology. There's no way you can know where everything is on all sides. And what, of course, the Normandy's doing is hiding that information.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed. And she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
So, the Normandy is a frigate. A little bit of trivia there. What class of starship is the Normandy in Mass Effect? If it's for $1,000 payout, y'all need to say frigate.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
And you learned it here on Legion Gray's channel. So let's spend some time and talk to the rest of the crew, and then we can go on and do a bunch of missions.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with the Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
If you say it's not that bad, he kind of moves on. He kind of like, eh. So you shouldn't complain. He's like, yeah, maybe you're right. You say true, he says, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You never can really upset Garrus. He's always on Shepard's side, even from the beginning.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it.
But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
And I can appreciate it. I mean, I think a lot of people kind of do agree with Garrus's point of view on some of this stuff. But if everybody did that and there was no capability, or if you had a group of CSEC officers that just weren't that well trained, I mean, procedure is important. But Garrus isn't like that. So yes, he thinks like, look, I'm good. I'm good at what I do. I am an asset to CSEC. But all they're doing is keeping me down. And I get it. Every job that I've ever left was because I tapped out as far as like, I can't grow anymore with this company. I'm done. I mean, I've learned everything I could possibly do. And at this point, if I do this for another 10 years, I'm going to go insane. So I kind of get Garrus a little bit.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
Ah. So Shepard doesn't want him to step out of line, though. But I don't like this whatever. Let's agree with him.
As long as you do your job well, you're free to go about your business as you see fit.
Thank you, Commander.
And he likes that. Even though it doesn't really show it there. He likes that. All right. We're going to talk to Rex. Let's talk to Sexy Rexy.
Nice ship you've got, Shepard. What can I do for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
You Krogans live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
It really isn't. It was war. But the war that the Krogans had, the ramifications are they're still paying for.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Sorry, Rex. I wasn't trying to get you upset.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
It's interesting though with the Krogan too, because you get to see them more often than not as mercenaries and pirates and stuff like that. So it's like Rex is saying, he's like, hey, you know, I did the same thing, but as a people, that's not the direction we should go. We're only going to thin ourselves out. We don't have a direction if we're simply a hired gun, right? We don't, as a people, have that common leader, that common voice. which you may not need necessarily, but it kind of seems like that's what the Krogan are lacking. And that's where the story building portion of Mass Effect 1 comes into play.
What can you tell me about the Genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the Genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
Yeah, he says when was the last time he saw a Krogan scientist? That's a good point, but he isn't saying that they're dumb, right? He's just saying when have you ever seen one? Their nature is violence. So to take the time to quell that violence and focus on science, I mean, it's rare. So they exist. Obviously, we know they exist. But Rex isn't wrong in his assessment in trying to tell that to us. He's not saying that there are no Krogan scientists. He's just saying, when was the last time you saw one? Did I do Genophage?
What can you tell me about the Genophage?
Oh, never mind. We did do that one.
Every Krogan is infected. Every one. And no
So long,
one's
Rex.
Shepard.
Okay. And I want to do a quick save right here because this is one of those, not just a quick save, but a hard save. I may need to use some video in the future for Ash. So let's talk to Ash.
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit.
Yes, ma'am. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
Now, what's Ash's position with this, you know, where we picked her up? You know, she's Alliance. She's not just like a you know, CSEC on, you know, Eden Prime. She is part of Alliance. She was charged with protecting that area, and so her unit wasn't like it was on its own. I mean, they were capable. So I've said it over and over, Ash is very Alliance first, Alliance first, Alliance first. What's her first complaint about this? It wasn't so much we lost the scientists, we lost the technology, we lost no, it's her unit. Yeah.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
They have flashlight heads, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Right.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duty squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Okay.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am?
I think she has one other thing to say. Let me try that.
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got...
No.
No offense. I appreciate the rescue. I just wish... Yes, ma'am. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by
Geth are
an...
perfect
They have
ambushers.
flat... I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Okay.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am?
Okay. I was thinking she did have something to say after, but she doesn't. Ooh. So we have 9,000, and we don't have a ton of inventory. Maybe we can see what type of armor we can get, because that's the one thing that we're not really good at. And it is Insanity. We are doing an Insanity playthrough, so...
Let's see what you got.
You bet, Commander.
Okay. So, light armor human Hydra. I kind of want that. What else do we have? can't afford that. But let's do it. Let's buy that. And then if we sell, there's a lot of things we could sell. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need, oh, we might use that. We're not going to sell the Onyx. Sell that. Medium, I'm going to sell the Krogan medium because by the time we get Rex upgraded, we're going to have something better than level 1 armor, so since we're really not in level 2 and 3 stuff, I just want to make sure we're not selling something we shouldn't have sold. So we don't have a lot here. It's real easy for your equipment to kind of get away from you, and then all you're doing is breaking down for Omnigel. Yeah. All right. Do we have to talk to Kaidan? Oh, I guess so. Let's talk to Kaidan. K-Dude.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Okay, so surprisingly, he doesn't say. I thought he would at least start that conversation that we were always trying to avoid. He gets a little cringy at that point. You know, if he starts talking about his history and his past girlfriends and this and that, that's okay. That's fine. But that's not generally what he does. He takes it to a totally another level. Okay, got our codex. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that we can see now for our codex. I think there's one in the med bay too now. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, replenish med gem. Let's do that. Dr. Chakwas. I don't think she says anything new, and it's really just about Kaidan anyway, so. All right. Okay, so I think we're good. Let's go do some more missions. So we did this one, and yeah, I really just wish that when they did the legendary, that they would have done the maps similar to 2 and 3, where it shows the percentage, or if you've been to a planet, it shows up with the name, so that way you know you've been there. Light metal surveyed. So we just don't know. So I have to do this systematically. I have to go through each system and go almost like left to right. I have to be consistent with it. So that way, if I've been to a system, if I'm like, I don't know, if there's like this one, it's from left to right, I've probably been to the ones on the left because you're being consistent, you know. It's the only way I know that I've been to places before. Medallion. Okay. Survey. And this is a lore stream, so we might as well sit and read this. But you know what? Shoot. Yeah, let's go ahead and read it. Pentamalurus atmosphere is very similar to Venus in terms of pressure and temperature. Unlike Venus, however, Pentamalurus atmosphere has a significant quantity of oxygen, both free and bound in sulfur dioxides. The surface is largely composed of magnesia with deposits of carbon. It is possible, if unlikely, that simple life may be developing on Pentamalurus. Computer modeling suggests the powerful solar winds from the Tereshkova stars will blow off Pentamalurus' atmosphere in a few million years, lowering the temperature on the surface to -70s. Interesting. Heavy metal. Antibar. Ooh, we could land here. This is a cold. So I like the cold ones because they're a lot less mountainous for whatever reason. Antibar is a cold terrestrial world with an atmosphere of methane and argon. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of iron and deposits of magnesium. The world has been noted as a possible target for long-term terraforming. If the atmosphere could be increased to the thickness of Earth's, the global average temperature would rise by 10 degrees Celsius. Antibar, combination of low temperatures, high-speed surface winds, and low visibility make it dangerous to explore on foot. Okay, so we're going to come back to that because we can land on that surface. Hunsalra is a small hydrogen helium gas giant. It has unusually large amounts of nitrogen in the upper atmosphere, which glow purple when ionized by the solar wind. Oh, that's pretty. Hunsalra's convenience as a place to dump drive charge has left its orbit littered with debris dumped overboard by visiting crews. I guess putting it at a gas giant kind of makes sense. I mean, it's junk, but at least it's sterilized, you know, because these gas giants, they produce a lot of radiation. And that's why it's been said that, like, even if humans could go throughout the solar system and travel to Venus and travel to Saturn and its moons and see all the like beautiful things, and the main thing you'd have to worry about is the radiation, because the planets emit, especially Jupiter obviously emits a very strong radiation. So there's that. Salmaron. Let's see here. Salmaron is one of Tereshkova's two outer worlds, significantly removed from the rest of the system and with unstable elliptical orbits. It is thought that they may have formed within three atmospheric units, AU, of the binary stars, and were hurled outward due to instability of such an orbit. Salmaron is a hydrogen and helium gas giant with significant quantities of sodium in the upper atmosphere, giving it a distinct gray color. Gray? Here's the other one. Mawiner. Mawiner. Mawiner is the second of Tereshkova's outer worlds. It is essentially a rock of unremarkable ores with some deposits of water ice, but no minerals or value. The frozen surface is composed of silica. Like the gas giant Salmaron, it is thought that Mawiner formed too close to the Tereshkova stars and was thrown outward by gravitational effects. Computer models suggest that it will be ejected from the system in a few 100,000 years. Okay. And is negative 228 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow's the geese. The geese is a terrestrial world with an atmosphere of chlorine and krypton. The surface is mainly composed of silicates with deposits of carbon. The geese has a low mass for its size and is tidally locked for star Tereshkova A. The temperature difference between the sunward hot pole and the dark side cold pole creates constant gale force winds across the terminator. Interesting. Where did it say that? Where is it? I know I read it. Oh, there it is. And is tidally locked to the star, meaning one side is always facing the star. So it's pretty neat. Just like the moon is tidally locked to the Earth. That's why you always see the one side. Heavy metal surveyed. Mercury. We have Mercury. All right, let's go to Antibar. Let's land. Let's see here. We're going to take Tally and let's take Ash. We took Rex last time. Let's take Ash. Okay. Here's our anomaly. So let's go that way. We are on insanity, so let's just be careful. What we do there's some debris here. There it is. Ooh. I didn't even do anything to it. So, doing these Thresher are so frustrating because it's really just me running around trying to make sure he doesn't get us. Like that. I accidentally hit the backwards button instead of the forward, and we're like almost dead. So we got to get over here to get a pot shot in. Yeah, we're gonna have to repair. I think my repair is R. I forgot. I usually change my key bindings for this, so I may have to get out of the range. There we go. We just have to take it a little slow because, I mean, we've got to make sure we don't make some stupid mistakes here. Okay. Yeah, I almost got killed for sure. Because I went backwards instead of forwards. I changed the camera direction and suddenly I had an issue. Yeah, the Thresher Mauls in Insanity are no joke. They're hard on the regular normal mode. Ooh. Okay. We actually did a lot of damage there. Surprisingly. Oh, great. Did we do it? Yeah, we did it. We got him. We got him. We did it. Let's figure out what this trap was. And see, I just don't think the Thresher Mauls are that smart to do this. But, you know, hey. I'm not complaining. We got it.
Heading out.
Okay. Let's investigate. Now, I will say that Andromeda, Mass Effect Andromeda, if you're at a really cold environment and you don't have the suit to take care of it or whatever, or if you don't terraform, whatever it is you do in Andromeda, I forget, like you either do the area or get upgraded enough to not the terrain not to bother you, the climate. That is unique. I don't mind that, but I don't really love having to deal with that either. I think it's just a way to make the maps repurposed, you know, because you can do only so much in that area until you unlock that thing that to get the rest of the map done. So the discovery here, it says the vehicle and the human corpses show the telltale signs of Geth weapon fire. The Geth have been mangled by the Thresher Maw. At least they got what was coming to them. So these don't really look like Geth, do they? Though that one is, but whatever. But yeah, you know, if normally, like if this was Andromeda, by getting out of the vehicle, we'd be taking damage. Let's take a look. Prothean Ruin. Let's recover it. Let's recover this thing. Oh no. Prothean data disk recovered. Searching the ruins, you discover a Prothean data disk. It must have been dropped by one of the Thresher Maw's many victims. Cool. Okay, let's go this way, and then we'll go to the Geth outpost. All right. We're in the Mako. I got my Mako shirt on too. It's the Mako. Mako. Yeah, it's backwards, but I had to move some things around on my workstation here, so the wording and stuff will look backwards to you guys. There we go. Oh, there's some minerals over here. I don't mind getting the minerals on like these snow maps because there's just the terrain's just not as bad. I wish all maps were kind of like this, just not fighting the mountains and the Mako the whole time. I would love doing the exploration 10 times more if the maps themselves weren't such a problem. Magnesium. So I've said it before, I love the Mako, hate the maps. But everybody hates the Mako, but I think they hate the Mako for the wrong reason. Mako's great. It's the maps. Maps suck. You know, this is, yeah, I think this is a backdoor way to get to the Geth outpost. So maybe we ought to go this. Maybe we'll do the Geth outpost first. Ooh. Oh, he got us. Gotta give it a minute to get our biotic shields. Oh, he got us too. Oh man, that got to me so much faster than I thought it was going to get to me. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to have to give it a minute. There we go. Okay. We'll give it a second to get our biotic shields to come back up. We got a level. It's a trap. Oh, did we die? Oh no. I thought I had enough time to like make a quick repair. Shoot. Alright. Well, that didn't work. Alright. Well, so much for that plan. Let's try it again. This time we'll save before we go into the complex. Jeez. I did not do that very well, did I? Yeah, that was entirely on me for that one. Oof. Wow. Well, like I said, it is insanity, and right now we just don't have a ton of HP, and, you know, it's not the Mako's fault. Mako was doing a good job. I just... yeah. We died. It'll be our death for the day, hopefully. There we go. All right. All right. It's a save right there. Man. See, I thought the hard thing would have been to, you know, that first wave. There we go, right there. All right. It turns out it was the second wave that got us. Oh, I'm upside down. Ooh. Definitely got us a few times. One thing I've noticed is that like the Thresher Maul, like it would miss me, but it still counted like the splash damage was hitting me. So I'm kind of wondering if similarly the Colossus is hitting me when it's not really hitting me. Okay. Got me. Okay. We should be good after this one. We'll just wait for it this time. much better. Because they're not really getting me this time.
We're halfway to driving these synthetic bastards out of this system.
Yeah, I was just one or two away from getting that one. Oh well. All right, let's check out equipment. Well, we got a bunch of stuff. Look at that. We got some armor piercing rounds. We got a recoil damper. Heat sink. Well, that's good. Yeah, just a lot of good stuff here. All right, good. So I need to really, I mean, I guess I could focus on the shotgun like I mentioned before, but geez. What do I want to do? Let's do the armor piercing rounds. That'll work against synthetics really well here. Oh yeah, I forgot to put on my outfit. It's actually not as good as the Scorpion, huh? Man, well, I thought it was going to be better. Let me look at it. Well, that's depressing. All right. but it does give us really good shields despite the difference there. So yeah, the Scorpion just is better, huh? Didn't see that coming. I forgot about the Scorpion. Forgot how good it was. So let's go to Ash. Yeah, I do want her to have some of that tech and biotic protection, because she doesn't have things like barrier and stuff. So let me give this to her. Although she looks good with what she's wearing, I'll be honest with you, she does look good with what she's got. The Liberator is not bad either. I just like the fact that Ash has all these options here. Tali, on their hand, does not have a bunch of options. Yeah, poor Tali. Improved sighting. Well, we don't want that for her shotgun. Let's do heat sink. And then this one for sure. All right, now she's all set. Now let's do it to our squad. We need to, so we already have Engineer max. We have Charm all the way maxed. What do we want to do? We want to do, probably decryption. Electronics, decryption, and then unlock hacking. And so now we'll be able to do this AI hacking, which, you know, if we have another bunker and we get another level, we can do this AI hacking that'll help us reprogram a Geth temporarily. So, oh yeah, there's more than just me. Ash, who has quite a few levels coming her way, I'm going to give it to her an assault rifle for a little bit right now. We're going to do training, adrenaline burst, fitness, and then what is it? What is advanced immunity? I don't remember. I want to get her that heavy armor too, so let's do one. One, just, it unlocks advanced immunity. I don't know what that, oh, increases health damage reduction. Of course we want that, so yeah, we'll do that. And then Tali gets a couple of points. So she's already got her shotgun, which is all I really wanted to get her to. Let's do Carnage, very valuable. And then we're going to have her do probably basic armor. Because I don't need her to do the electronics and decryption, because that's what I have my points put into. And once I get those maxed, I mean, Tali's just going to be there to look pretty, you know? So, yeah. Looks good. I like it. All right. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Oh, was that on top of that hill? Oh man, I think I went the wrong direction. I'm gonna have to go the long way around just to get up on that hill where this thing is. But that's okay. Oh no, it's right here. Okay, so it was behind the mountain.
Moving out.
Let's see what we got. Crash probe. Ooh. Improved sighting and high caliber barrel. Okay. Now the good news is that since we're have a we could focus on pistols. We can get a particular pistol in this game and make it OP, and we won't have much of a problem once we get that gun. I don't think there's anything on this side, but just going to make a quick pass to see if there's anything that shows up on the sensor. But I don't think there is. Do do do. Do do do. Oh yeah, I need to do one last quick thing. Share, copy. Let's see here. Hey Master, how you doing? Hey, guess what? It's Legion. It's Master. How you doing? There we go. I forgot to post on my own Discord that that I went live, because I'm so used to BootyBot doing that for me. So, how are you doing? Good to see you. Hopefully, you're having a good day. I saw Bree earlier, and she was doing Back Pain Simulator. So yeah, not too bad. Yourself? I didn't start 7 o'clock sharp. My work was it made me so tired today. I had all these plans to leave work early and, you know, rest up and get the stream ready to go and, you know, take it all in. And man, it wasn't that it was hard to work. It was just I had so many things that they kind of threw at me, but not in a bad way. I don't want to give them a bad impression. The work was just super busy, and it kept me busy up until the very last minute. So not only did I not get to leave early, I actually stayed late. So when I got home, I got a little bit later start than I would have. I think I started around 7:10 or 10 after 7 rather than right at 7 o'clock. So Legion, hey Bees, how you doing, Bees? And Bree, hey, well, y'all just joining at the same time. It's good to see you guys. We're gonna go back to the Normandy. It's good to see you guys. And I caught Bees' stream while I was at work. Very enjoyable as always. Jude is welcome to come on in, Bees. This is a super family friendly channel. We're going to the Hong system. We're kind of doing Tally's quest by accident. I just ran into it. I forgot it was this system. So we're just kind of cruising around doing, because we've talked to all the crew members before we started this, and we're just kind of getting into it now. Poor Jude, I know. Poor Jude. I'm sure he didn't take it bad. So Jude crashed. I don't know if crash is the right word. He came into B's stream, and you know, B's is very strict with 18 plus. And he is not 18 plus. So yeah. What is this? Why is my... Oh. That's weird. I shouldn't have a timer for my Streamlabs thing, but it's there. I don't know why. Oh, you know what? I do know why. Because for some reason it's on, and I don't want it on. Let me turn it off real quick. But it's good to see you guys. Like I said, we're just doing some missions, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully you guys can, if y'all want to talk shop with the Mass Effect lore, that's what we're here for. We're just not here just to play a game and move on, Spoilers galore here. Not only is backseating okay, it is encouraged. So quality of stream looks great. Thank you, bees. I mean, I've kind of said that, with these next-gen games, it really is to a lot of people's advantage is to watch it in as high of a resolution as possible. I love the fact that, Cyberpunk looks great. The next-gen Witcher looks pretty good. They've got some coding issues with the ray tracing and stuff, so that's why I haven't even bothered trying to stream that. But if you see it like on a 2K on your own monitor versus watching it on a stream at 1080, I mean, you're not going to get the next gen effect no matter how I do it. I mean, I could put it in 4K. You're not going to see it in 4K. But yeah, I appreciate it, bees. Matar is a terrestrial planet with thick atmosphere composed of nitrogen and krypton. Its frigid surface is mainly composed of sodium oxide with deposits of copper. Because of noxious surface gases, explorers are warned to use extreme caution. Matar lacks a magnetic field. This makes it useless for discharging FTL drive cores in orbit, so faster than light. The energetic particles of solar wind from Hong strike the upper atmospheres directly, ionizing the krypton. This gives the planet a distinct minty green-white hue. We're going to survey it. Matriarch's writing. Interesting. So scans of Matar revealed debris from a destroyed Asari freighter. Further scans uncovered a body which was brought on board. Dr. Chakwas examined it, but learned nothing about its origins. Among the Asari's personal effects, however, was one of Matriarch Dalinga's writings. So that's what we got out of it mainly. Interesting. Caspin. I think this is our planet of landing. Yes, it is. So we're going to come back to that. Pommel. Pommel is an enormous terrestrial planet with a very dense atmosphere of carbon dioxide and sodium. The surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of sodium oxides and deposits of nickel. There is evidence that Pommel was once covered with broad, shallow seas. Should a probe ever be sent to the surface, a check for ancient fossil life might prove valuable. There is a reference here in Mass Effect on one of the planets that you do find a skull, and it's a dragon. It's a reference. It's an Easter egg for Dragon Age. This is Trigger. Trigger is a tiny ice dwarf with a trace atmosphere of xenon and krypton. The frozen surface is mainly composed of water, ice, and ammonia. Cryovolcanic processes are gradually repaving the surface with sheets of fresh ice. Let's survey it. Light metal surveyed. Lithium. We found lithium. Very good. Okay. But yeah, how are you guys doing? How are you doing, Breeze? And how are you doing, Bree? Like I said, I did catch what I could of your stream, Bree. Back pain simulator. What is it called? Death Stranding. I still can't get over, like, why are we carrying everything? I've watched as many streams as I've seen. I've never understood why we're carrying from one place to another, but it's okay. So Caspin is a classic pre-garden terrestrial world with conditions similar to those of Earth millions of years ago. Its hot, humid atmosphere is mainly composed of nitrogen and carbon dioxide. An increased amount of the surface is covered by simple lichen and algae. Should no unexpected calamity occur, these tiny plants will change the atmosphere to an Earth-like nitrogen-oxygen mix over the next few millennia. We just have to be patient and wait. Bree, I didn't know you streamed. Oh yeah, Bree. Well, she does. I think pretty regular a while back, but what you've been having like some computer problems lately, right? I think. See, I don't know why it's still posting some of those. I have it turned off. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Due to its potential for future habitability, and sapient life, Caspin has been designated a sanctuary world by the Citadel's Council. Landing is prohibited by law, and any disturbance of the fragile young ecosystem will result in harsh fines and imprisonment. At present, the planet is passing through the debris trail of a long-period comet. Net problems. Oh, net problems. Okay. So, we could just land and move on, but it's interesting that they noted that we could actually be breaking some laws by just landing here. Yeah. Yeah, I do, but it's been internet problems. Yeah. Been trying to make a comeback, though. Don't call it a comeback, as LL Cool J would say. This time we'll take Rex. But yeah, I have to give you a follow on Twitch. Yeah. Yeah, it's just BrieBear10, Brie_Bear10. Oh, thanks, bees. Yep. Toot, toot, toot. Here we go. Where we at? So the Geth compound, well, the anomaly's over there. Signal, Geth outpost. So we probably should start over here. It's another one of these planets that are like just tons of mountains. Not my favorite. I love how it looks. I love how really pretty everything looks, but the mountains are just too much. I wish there were more scenery and less obstacle. Yeah. Oh my goodness. We're probably gonna have to go this way to go up. Yeah. There we go. And oh, I didn't get to do my unboxing on stream. I did it after the stream yesterday, but I got Kaidan in. And I'll show it to you guys here in just 1 second. Let me get to this stupid thing here. It's just bouncing around all. So look at this. Why has it got to be over there? Why has it got to be like, all right, let's go. Once you go down into that ravine, there's no coming right back up, so make sure we're going the right way. Yeah, I think it's this way. Here it is. We found it. Yay. Beacon. All right, let's see what we got. ID tag. Buried under the beacon was an identification tag for Captain Thean. There's no indication of why it was hidden here or who buried it in the first place. Great. Useful. Let me go get that for you guys. It's pretty cool. Let me show it. So BioWare has been releasing figures for the Mass Effect series. They've done some Dragon Age ones, but here's Kaidan. He's K-Dude. And he's holding a beer. Just got that one in. Look at that. Pretty neat. Of course, Kaidan never makes it past the nuclear bomb with me, so I'm letting him chill out. So I have them right here for right now. But yeah, pretty cool. Anybody's interested in doing a or getting, I think it's 20% off your purchase, as long as it's not a already discounted item. Wait a minute. I think it just depends, actually. If they have like a big sale, then you can't use it on top of it. But I think you can use it even for discounted items. But my code, I need to post it here real quick. Jeez, I can't believe I forgot it. Because I have to reset it about every week or so. But if you want a 20% off code at their store, it is BW. Let me type it in for you guys. At the BioWare Gear Store. And if you need that code after it expires, like if you, like, I don't know, get a chance to go there a Wednesday or Thursday or whatever and say, hey, look, I found this item and I want to get that 20% off, message me. I'll get you a new one. It's not a problem. Okay, there we go. And let's go this way. Hopefully we don't go LeMako. You gotta love it. No. Alright. There you go. We'll just go with it. Which way is it? Is it that way or this way? I think unfortunately it's this way. Oh no. No! No! No. We're stuck. Okay, well, never mind. We're gonna go this way. Hold on. Let's just go this way. This one's more important anyway. This little question mark, that little pyramid thing is neat, but it's probably just gonna be like a ID tag or a writing or something like that. It's not that big of a deal. Okay. Quick save, because if we die trying to like get to this resource. Oh no. There we go. It's kind of flat here, relatively speak. No. Okay. We're almost there. Oh, we made it. Perfect landing. Yay. See, that was intentional. That was not a mistake. That was, I knew exactly what we were doing. Incendiary explosive. That's that grenade there's pretty nice. All right. So again, it's just materials, you know. But now we want to go up here. And fight this thing. Yes, officer. I don't know why you pulled me over. No. Reckless driving. What? Impossible. Again, we'll save because I don't want to fight this all over again. All right, let's see. There we go. We're almost there. We are almost there. The thing is, I think we have to come back here. Oh no! There's one. I think when we clear the next area, we have to come back here. I think. Whoa. Bouncing around everywhere. But these are great for XP. So. Okay. So dumb. Come on now. Okay. Ooh. Crap. Almost there, almost there. Did we get a level? There we go. Yeah, the more levels we get doing like little quests like this, the better, because then when we do the harder stuff, the class stuff and whatnot, then yeah, so we want to deactivate this. The Geth array is transmitting regular data burst in an encrypted channel using the Alliance's own FTL comm buoys. It is not clear where the data is being directed, nor the content of the signal. Let's turn it off. Nice. So it says an area map now, but I think all it does is, it doesn't really change anything. I think it just says that you finished this quest. Now, it should have given us some equipment. Yeah. Ooh, a lot of good stuff here too. We're going to take that. And actually, we need to go to Rex's thing, because I think that should give him a better... Yeah, here's a shield regenerator. I think we'll do the damage protection. Yeah. Oops. My fault. There we go. There we go. Let's go to squad, because I think I need to upgrade Rex. Yeah, he's got 8 points going to him. So we got shotguns like I wanted. We have assault rifles, which is just necessary to get shotguns. Doing the combat armor is good. Eventually I want to get here to fitness. In fact, that's what I can do now. I can do fitness, and then we'll put a little bit in barrier. That additional barrier that you can use for him really makes him OP at that point. Otherwise, really Ash is better for you early on. But yeah, him having this barrier really helps out quite a bit. What it does is it's biotic. It says increases barrier duration to 11.5 seconds and shielding 460. So he has not only extra health and other immunities on top of his extra health, but he can wear like once we get him the combat armor, which I have him at heavy armor right now. So if we get him heavy armor and great shielding, we can also get him a barrier on top of it. So yeah, he just comes at you strong. Oh, I guess we upgraded our level 2. I didn't know that. Okay, so let's do basic armor, and then this one. And then what else are we going to use? Maybe shotguns? Let's do shotguns. Yeah, tell you, the shotgun, armor, tank. And, yeah, for us, we'll do more, well, we'll do hacking. That'll allow us to hack the Geth a bit. I need to start doing first aid, but I'm going to hold off for right now. I need to, but I'm going to hold off. I'm going to keep doing decryption and electronics, because I just don't want to go somewhere in one of our missions and not be able to open something because I don't have the ability to. So there we go. Nice. Let's go. Let's go to our Geth outpost. And then after this, we got one more system to do, and that should be all of Tali's loyalty quests. So it's kind of nice that we're getting it out this early. Ooh, I took the wrong turn. All right. Then we have, I think this is gold. Let me look. Don't remember. Yeah, I think it's gold. Yeah, it's gold. Yay. All right, get some money. Successfully surveyed a large deposit of gold. We get 1,000 credits. Ooh. May have gone the wrong way, but that's okay. It's flatter over here, that's for sure. Ugh. Don't fail me now, Mako. Yeah. You will hear occasions sometimes, you know, you can pronounce it however you want to, but I've heard Mako, I've heard Mako, whatever. But I always go by Mako, kind of like the Mako shark. And in fact, in Mass Effect 3, when you have the two teams, you have Team Hammerhead and Team Mako. they call it out like that. They, you know, Shepard says, Team Mako, where are you at? What's your status? My goodness, they're so violent. It's much more forgiving if you zoom in on them. Otherwise, they try to like say, hey, you know, use our assets, use our features, not like just trying to shoot them from far away. There's one left. And then a big ship will come down. Where's he at? Oh, there he is. Uh-oh. Gotta let our cannon cool down. Come on. There we go. We're almost there.
Just
Yeah,
one outpost left. I'm going to miss slaughtering death like this.
There we go. Nice. We got them all. Just an easy way to get a lot of XP here early. I mean, I know I've probably done this tactic in the past. I just don't remember doing it like this. But, I mean, it's nice. Again, we get a lot of equipment. Well, we didn't get anything, actually. Okay. Oh, there's some minerals over here. Do I want to go get that? Yeah, it's right there. Come on. Come on, Mako. Get your fat ass. Where is it? Okay, there. Oh my God. Okay. Did a flip. I didn't know you could do that, Mako. Good job, though. Good job.
Securing point.
Uranium. Okay, sure. There we go. Uranium. Let's get in there. All right, so go back to the Normandy. We just have one more base to go. And do believe we have to go into the base. I don't remember. Okay, let's get in there. One more place to go. And that's this Vamshi system. Okay. Almos. So now... Oh. I forgot to do one thing. Hold on. Where did my thing go? One of my favorite artists did release some prints that are pretty rare today, and I was able to snag one for $20. It was a print he did for the Deftones. No. Yeah, it was the Deftones, yeah. Because it's titled after one of the lyrics. So I don't remember if we started here. Let's do it again. Maji. So this is where we want to go. Okay, never mind. Let's go to Almos. And I didn't read this one, but it says Almos is a hydrogen helium gas giant with traces of sodium darkening its atmosphere. So there's not much there. Pregol or Pregel, I don't know. Pregel is an enormous terrestrial world with an atmosphere of chlorine and ethane. Its surface is mainly composed of sulfur with deposits of aluminum. No landing has ever been attempted. Turian signal recovered. While scanning the planet Pregel, you discovered several marker buoys orbiting it. Chief Engineer Adams secured some high-res optical images of the buoys, which appeared to have been neglected for some time. Each one was marked with the Baetica colony insignia. Alright. Not much lore there, but it is interesting that there could be something there. I don't think I've done enough investigation of those signias to see if there's anything related to each one. I'm sure somebody has, though. Maji orbits the Vashmi binary giant stars. Vashmi A is a blue star of spectral class A4111, which burns at half again the temperature of Sol. Vashmi B is an aging red giant of class M5111, over 220 times the size of Sol, which is the Sun. Maji has a thin atmospheric of methane and carbon monoxide. The difference in temperature between the hemispheric facing the suns and facing deep space causes constant wind stirring and silica and sodium dust of the surface. Unsavory characters from the Terminus systems occasionally use Maji for forms of cruel sport, dumping slaves, hostages, quarreling shipmates, or, even when bored, vicious animals on the surface. So maybe we might have a Thresher Maul here too. One must kill the other before they will be rescued from the lethal radiation of the giant stars. Let's go. Sounds fun. Okay, let's take Tali. And let's go back to Ash. Let's get to that point that if I didn't have Rex with his barrier, I mean, if I didn't have to have Tali, that I'd be just taking Rex and Ash. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so accept. There we go. So, anybody have any plans for this weekend? Here's the anomaly. Here's our Geth outpost. We're going to go like lower right to around. I'm going to go this way. I'm hoping we don't face the Thresher Maul again. I just don't want to deal with one at the moment. Now there's a mineral thing. And we're not doing a kind of stream. I mean, this is not going to be a playthrough where we have to get, 100% of everything. I'm just really going through it, and we're just, if anybody wants to stop and chat and talk about lore or anything else, we'll just stop and do it. Yeah, this is more of a distraction, these little, iron locations, or the metal locations. Why not Garrus? Ash is not my favorite. Yeah, I know, Bree. You have successfully surveyed a large deposit of thorium. It's kind of like what I've said about Kaidan. He's got a couple abilities that make him just half as useful as somebody who is focused. It's like Rex is kind of in that vein, except he's not really a true biotic. He's more like Ash with the ability for biotic. So in a way, he's like the best soldier in our group. But Ash has more hit points, and she's immediately more valuable, way more than Garrus. Garrus is more of like survivability. He has the sniper rifle and things like that, which is useful for me because I'm playing as an engineer. But I need somebody who's going to get up front and tackle the mobs like Husks in this game. And Garrus is more of like a support. And if I was a soldier, you'd probably see me take Garrus all the time, because he's both. You know, he can be right there with you, and he can shoot with his, you know, from afar. He's perfect for that. But if you're going to play as an engineer and more of like a squishy or biotic, having Ash or Rex at the beginning just makes the survivability go way up, and it's just because of that, no other reason. And soon we really won't be taking Tali, because she's basically our character. You know, we're an engineer, so there's nothing she's bringing to the table that we don't already have. So, but that's why. But no, Ash is great. Ash is wonderful. Definitely love her over Kaidan, that's for sure. I don't think I've done a playthrough with Kaidan surviving in... Oh, it's been ages. I just don't need him. Hold up. Wait a minute. Where's our thing? Oh, it's right. Is it right here? Yeah. Where is it? It's right here. Oh, it's a trap. That's what this is. I think this is a trap. Yeah. Is this the Dragon Age dragon I was talking about? I think it is. Odd Skull. There it is. See there? That's our let me go into photo mode. There you go. That's it's like a Dragon Age dragon. Yeah. Discovery. This massive skull is scored by deflected mass accelerator shots. The xenobiology files in your hardsuit computer can't identify the species. It must have been brought here from an unknown world. Yeah. So let's go to our pistol real quick. I want to make sure that our pistol has the where is it? Shield bypass, yes. And yeah, I think it's this one. That's not the main one I was looking for, but I think that'll work out really well for this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Still don't know why we can't find whatever this is. I don't know what I'm missing. Ancient. Okay, now it's showing up. It wasn't showing up before. I mean, I was right on top of it. Okay. Bug. Turing insignia. Okay, well, that's fine. Gives us XP and some credits. Not hating it. Let's go to this little area. But, you know, I need to do a, there have been videos of, you know, trying, they're clickbait, you know, they have titles like, Ash, is Ash a space racist? I don't, that's probably not their titles, but they're more of like I said, clickbait stuff, where you have to really watch the video to kind of see where they're going with it. Because everybody wants to engage in that conversation. But if you know the, ooh, this one's tricky. Oh, I missed it. There we go. If you know the humanity in this game, I mean, they're extremely racist when it comes to space. And they're not, I don't want to call it racist. They're more like, they're xenocysts. they just don't like aliens. They really think that they should be the master species in the galaxy. They've been betrayed by the Turians, the Batarians. They think that they've carved out a niche in this galaxy, and that they should have the ability to dictate the terms of what goes on, not only in their area, but others. Even though humanity has really only been around in this culture for a few decades. And so the predominant feeling among humanity, I'm not saying that, right or wrong, I'm just saying the predominant feeling in humanity is they should be the ones calling all the shots here. And there's lots of riots over it. There's like, remember Shanxi, all this other stuff, and beryllium. So when you take that into context with all the things Ash says, I mean, really Ash is just, as I said before, just pro-alliance. That's her thing. She's pro-alliance. Everybody else, I mean, she might be ignorant about a few different things, but she is definitely not saying, I don't want to go with Rex. I'm not going to go with Garrus. I don't like those people. You can't make me go with them. She's like far from saying that. She's just alliance first, and that's just how it is. And alliance is human dominated, but I would say that there's more like a need to say, like, in defense of Ashley Williams rather than saying Ashley Williams is great, because I do think that she has a lot of her faults and she does grow as a character, but I don't really think that she's any more malicious. In fact, she's far less malicious than most humanity is when you meet them. Yeah, because even some of the scumbags that you meet, like Harkin, I mean, he doesn't like the fact that he's human, and he gets he definitely gets away with a lot of stuff, but you get the impression that he just doesn't like aliens being over him. He's just got a bad attitude about everything. Ooh. Oops. Okay. Where's the... Oh, there it is. It's right below us. Oh, come on. I can't get to it. I can't get to it. Okay. All right, we're going to have to get to it another way. Okay. All right, now we can get up this hill. There we go. But I probably will be taking Garrus before too long. I mean, I got to get his levels up, It's not unusual where I take him in the final mission, believe it or not. Oh my god. Ridiculous. Come on, Mako, don't be like that. Of course, I blame the environment. Defenses. I laugh at you. There you go. All right. All right. I think that's it, though. I think that's all of our turrets. Hopefully. Best to get these rocket launcher guys out of the way first. The snipers I'm not too worried about. It's the rocket launcher guys. There's one more. There we go. There's our big guy, the Geth Colossus. Oh, he got us. Damn. Come on. Recalibrating. See, he got me, and I don't know how, because he had that barrier there, but we should get him.
I'm surprised. I figured one of these outposts would be the main base of operations for this incursion.
Hold on. This receiver's picking up some kind of transmission. Based on the signal strength, I'd say it's coming from inside this star cluster.
It's gotta be the main base.
Gotta
we can
be.
use the signal to lock onto its location and go take it out.
Yeah. So, get back in. So it unlocks your final mission, and I don't know if we can talk to Tali yet about before we do that, but I know we can talk to her after. So let's go ahead and go back to Normandy. Maybe we can talk to her real quick, and then we'll go to that last thing. There we go. Dun dun dun. There we go. Because at this point, even if it doesn't advance the loyalty mission, we've got a few levels underneath us now. And might be able to unlock the next level of conversation anyway. Let's increase our squad. Master Overload. Master Sabotage. And we're pretty high. I mean, I don't think we're going to run into any missions that say that we don't have enough with these levels. But probably need to start thinking about getting these pistols and unlock basic armor. Because once we have the basic armor, then it'll just be, you know, an extra level of shielding for us. Yeah, let's start doing that. I mean, it's weird that you unlock pistols. I mean, pistols unlock basic armor. But that's just what it does. How about this, Bree? I will take Garrus for this final mission. It'll be Garrus and his love, Tali, for the final Geth mission. We'll take them.
Oh, hello, Shepard.
Oh, what's wrong?
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me, especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth, it feels like we're not even moving, and the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
The silence wakes you up?
Back on the flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down. I guess you don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard. But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have till it's gone.
That's true. I'm starting to wonder if that's what the pilgrimage is really about. It's given me a whole new perspective on my people and our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them, but maybe they just wanted a different life.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually, but we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
Okay.
I should go.
I should go.
See you later.
See you later. All right. So she added the conversation, but it was like I thought. It was just more of like an XP level conversation. Let's talk to Rex real quick, because he might be able to add to that conversation he was talking about before.
So,
yeah,
we've got Saren on the run.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
Good. He's rotten. To the core. I could tell as soon as I met him.
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
I would have if I thought it was important.
I think I'd like to hear about it just the same.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the Terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face once. We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching. Couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him, so I got the hell out. Didn't even wait to get paid.
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
I don't know. All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
Whose ship was it?
There was a Volus trading vessel. Big one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
Okay.
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week. Every damn one.
Okay.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Yeah. So we're getting more backstory about Rex's, things that he's done in the past. So it's pretty neat. Let's talk to Ash.
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there soon.
Oh, we
no
already had
offense.
this.
I appreciate the rescue. I just...
You wish we'd been
Yes,
able
ma'am. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down
to
by
get the
now.
perfect ambushers.
They have flashlight heads. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure. I was hoping to get a minute of your time. Off the record.
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but
Right here.
I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
So here's where the miscommunication is coming from. So if you want to take the surface level and say, wait a minute, so she doesn't like aliens. This is an Alliance ship. It's very unusual for humans to be on a Turian ship. It's very unusual for humans to be on a Asari ship. I could go on. To be on a Quarian ship. Because they have their own military vessels that are species controlled. This is no different. So the humans may be, granted the Normandy was built, with humans and Turians combining their technology, and they built it together basically. But it is an Alliance vessel. Make no mistake. And so Ash, being Alliance first, is expressing, what if the aliens that are here may not be vetted? Like, how do we know they're actually here and not spies? And she raises the question. She's not demanding the position. She's just raising the question, which is not the same thing. So the take I think Ashley is making is not as a space racist. It's concern that Alliance may be compromised on an intelligence level. I think it makes a good point, but...
They may not serve the Alliance, Chief, but they're allies. At least as far as Saren goes.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
You don't trust the Alliance's allies?
I'm not sure I'd call the Council races allies. We, humanity, I mean, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
Standing up for ourselves doesn't mean standing alone.
I don't think we should turn down allies. I just think we shouldn't bet everything on them staying allies. As noble as the Council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
And why does she say that? Is it just skepticism? Is it pragmaticism? Is it just naivety? Is it a case of she's just, spouting out her opinion of things? Well, let's take it back. I mean, humanity is on its own, and they're facing the Batarians, who are pirates, and they constantly they're in the Attican Traverse, and they're constantly like coming in and raiding, and so we have to like make our space, and the Council really is doing nothing about it. We're not on the Council, and we get a voice, but they're not doing anything about the Batarians. If the Batarians declared an all-out war against humanity, Council is doing nothing. She's making points that are known, not opinions. So you have to kind of keep some of that stuff in mind. So she's saying, hey, look, backs against the wall, they will abandon us. She's not wrong. They would. If the Batarians came with a full force of their own, the Krogan and whoever else they could muster, and decided to attack humanity, the Council would step back and let it happen.
I don't see that as inevitable.
Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human. It's not racism, not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
And to her point, again, look at the vessels. Look at the military vessels that they're on. You don't see a mixing of the species on their war vessels. Every time you cut to one, Asari are in Asari, Turians are in Turians. You go to a Turian camp like in Mass Effect 3, and of course that was on their moon, of course, so you wouldn't have a bunch. But wouldn't it make more sense, like to see them kind of scattered around with a human here or there, or a I don't know, a Hanar even somewhere? But you don't. So I don't think she's making bad points.
These seem like deeply held beliefs, Williams. What made you think this way?
My family's defended the Alliance since it was founded. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service. I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
It doesn't sound like you've worked with aliens before.
No, ma'am. Mainly I've been groundside, part of the surface garrison forces. I did get a rotation on a space station for training. Every Marine a rifleman, every rifleman ZG certified.
That's odd. Your record is spotless and your technical scores are exemplary. You should be serving with the fleet.
Anyway, that's why I haven't served with many aliens, Commander.
See? She does have a lot of naivety going along with all this. So she does have a certain perspective that is not inherently wrong. It's subjective in its point of view. Now, where she's applying the subjective conversation that she's having here is because she believes that this was what will happen next, but she's observing it objectively, and she's not wrong with what she's seen. But there is that other half of it. If she's been doing so well and everything else, why hasn't she been exposed to aliens more? What's going on here?
I come from a military family too. My parents were both Navy. Anybody in your family we might know?
Couldn't say, Commander. We probably have a lot in common. You join up to carry on the tradition?
No. The future of humanity is out here. There's so much we haven't seen yet.
Yeah. I still remember my first field exercise on Titan. When we hit mud, the reality hit me. I'm the first person who ever stood here. Then my drill instructor kicked me in the ass. I went face first into the muck, He spent the next 5 minutes chewing me out for gold bricking.
Don't tell me you had Gunny Ellison. He's the only one who uses that word to describe shirking duty.
Oh, Lord. You went to the Makapog boot camp, too? Yeah. Gunny Ellison's still reaming out recruits down there. Kicking ass and using words like inveigle and pusillanimous.
I'm telling you, Ashley is Alliance first, and she loves it, and you can tell it. She has a totally different tone and change of voice when she's talking about the Alliance.
Alright, I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams. But this is a multilateral mission. You're gonna have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
I don't think kissing Turians will be necessary.
You never know, Commander.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
And because she's Alliance first, that's why she obeys Shepard, even in a situation where she doesn't agree. Now, does she change her tune? Well, you know she does. But that's why there's growth in all these games.
Commander, how are you?
Why did you want to be a C-Sec officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was C-Sec, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
That's tough. But you'd think he'd be impressed you're going after Saren.
My father's a C-Sec man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
And you might see Garrus very similar to Ash if he was more of the Turian army, but he's part of C-Sec. You know? So, I mean, Tally's very Quarian related. I mean, that's her focus, is the Quarians. Garrus is not so much focused on just pure Turian. He's not, because he's not part of that whole military life. Now, he goes into that, but his family has been C-Sec. Now, the majority of C-Sec is Turian, so it's a natural transition. But if he was pure Turian military, you might see him more like Ashley, saying, nope, we have to rely on ourselves, and I will work with you guys as long as I have to. And it's not a problem, but, you know, Turian first.
You were asked to be a Spectre.
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate. Me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it.
He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
I suppose I can understand his concern.
You can. But Saren's not going to play by our rules, C-Sec's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
So this is where, even if you disagree with Garrus, he's okay with it. Again, that's just how he's written. That's how he is as a character. No matter what you say or do to him, no matter who lives or who dies, or if you're Paragon or Renegade, he loves Shepard. Shepard's like the best thing in the world.
Don't get caught up in the details, Garrus. We'll find him, and then we'll stop him. That's all you need to know.
Good point. Thanks, Commander.
See? Good point. All right. We'll go to our last mission, and then we'll bring Garrus and Tally. But I'm just going to take a quick, not even a 1 minute break. I got to refill my drink. It's empty. And I will do that real quick. But y'all, if y'all have any questions or want to bring up something, or like even Bree was saying, why not Garrus? I mean, I gave a full long reason why, but we're going to bring them this time. But you guys, if you have anything y'all want to go over, you know, put it down so we can go over it. I mean, it's not just sitting here and playing the game, which is always enjoyable, but I've done probably no less than 3 dozen playthroughs. So, you know, what's one more? But I mean, you know, You know, what's the difference between, you know, a sentinel or an infiltrator or an engineer? What's the advantages, disadvantages of each? You know, I'll be honest with you, Mass Effect 1, I don't see major differences between the three. But when you get into 2 and 3, man, I mean, yeah, it just, they definitely take a life of their own. But I will be right back. Let me go into my quick intermission, but I won't be very long. I just have to refill my drink. Let me go to my BRB and I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. I apologize. Like I said, I just wanted to get a quick drink real quick. And then my wife and my mom, who lives with us, they had some questions about some stuff. And I was like, let me answer your question so I can get going. Oh, this weekend I'm going to, it's long overdue, but I haven't gotten my son's college graduation ring. He's doing his master's in architecture. And I still haven't gotten him his college ring yet, and I need to. So this weekend I'm going to make that a priority of making sure that, because he already knows the design and everything else that he wants on it. I just need to order it, you know. Just haven't done it. So lazy. My daughter's graduating high school, so I got her ring ordered. There's Grissom. So Grissom is, I think, the one that opened up for us. Because remember, I was telling you, like, when I do these systems, I like to go left to right, because in Mass Effect 1, there's no marker that says, you know, you did 100% of this one or 85% of that system. Yeah, so I just try to keep some kind of order. I just go kind of left to right. So this looks new. All right. Similarly, I want to like start out on the outside when I can, and then I work in. Survey an asteroid. Polonium. And let me do the next asteroid belt just in case. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's the planet. Xerorex, nitrogen, argon. I'm just going to survey it this time. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. It talked about the Protheans. Hold on. Nitrogen argon atmosphere is being blasted away by the solar wind of the blue giant Grissom. Its surface consists of seas of loose silica dust, some kilometers deep, which periodically swirl into global sandstorms. Many unmanned probes to Xerorex have been lost over the years, though investigation has attributed all to mechanical failure or computational error. A popular extranet meme insists the entire planet is composed of dormant nanotechnology created a millennia ago by a race even more advanced than the Protheans. Oh, okay, so it wasn't about the Protheans. According to the story, Xerorex's silica dust is actually disassembler robots which periodically awaken to defend themselves. Though discounted by every reputable scientist, this theory has been popularized by a series of sensationalistic texts by the Asari author Delsey Orthesay. I wonder if that's a reference to any kind of comic or something we have. Binda. Okay, no, so there's nothing there. Okay. Binda. Binda has a dense atmosphere of sulfur dioxide and chlorine, though technically classified as a terrestrial world. But the surface of the planet has never been cooled enough for crust to form. It is a global sea of molten rock. Like Xerorex, its atmosphere is being blasted away by solar wind. Once its thick atmosphere is gone, Binda's surface will be a mere 400 degrees Celsius. Medallion recovered. Scans of Binda uncovered an ancient Solarian vessel. A small team was dispatched to search the valuables. The only item of value recovered was a League of One medallion. Interesting. That was the only thing they were able to recover. There's a Solcrum. I think that's it. Yeah. Level 1 heat hazard. Solcrum is the largest moon of the gas giant Notan Ban. It has a trace atmosphere of krypton and xenon. The crust is composed of various metals and deposits of sodium. Oh, interesting. As with every body in the solar system, the surface is scorching hot and thoroughly irradiated by a blue giant Grissom. Surface excursions without proper protective gear are certain to prove fatal. On approach to Notenban, Normandy's passive sensor array intercepted a fragmentary coded transmission from the surface of Solcrum. Attempts to decrypt the message were fruitless. It does not appear to be in any software coding language used by the Citadel races. Let's go. So we told Bree we were going to do Garrus and Tali, who are a couple. Or will be a couple, I should say. Makes sense. They have the same diet. They're both in their suits all the time. And they really like each other. They definitely respect each other, that's for sure. We have to upgrade Garrus' stuff because we haven't even touched his stuff yet. We don't need decryption. We could do tactical armor. Oh yeah, let's focus on weaponry for him. Unlock sniper rifles, yeah. You know, the one way that Garrus could be super useful to us is actually first aid. Because if we don't need him for decryption, and we don't really need his sniper rifle here, if he's got the tactical armor all the way, he's got the assault rifle, and he's got first aid all the way, he's really actually pretty useful to us. So let's keep going with tactical armor because we're going to need him to help infiltrate this base. But and see, here's this assault training. This increases weapon damage and melee damage. I don't care so much about the melee damage because he doesn't do a ton. But we need to, yeah, equip medium armor and shield boost, and then we'll get into this adrenaline burst. So he's kind of like Ash in that regard. And then we'll do just a few points in first aid probably. There we go. And then Tally's got a few points coming her way. What should we do? Shotgun probably, huh? Yeah. Advanced Carnage. Man, Tally's a beast at the moment. So let's do the save. All right, let's see where we're going. Anomaly. We don't know what that is, but that's probably where we need to go. Let's go here first. Oh, I think this is the Geth trap. Hold on. Whoa. Come on now. Come on, Mako. You can make it. You can make it, Mako. There we go. All right. Sorry. Capsule. Matriarch writings. There were several artifacts stored here. All are worthless except one of Matriarch Delinga's writings. Whether it was uncovered at the Stig site or somewhere else is unclear. Okay. Let's see where to go next. Let's go over here. Whoa. All right. I'll do it like this. Well, there you go. We sent the Mako flying. Man, this is what I was talking about. I love the Mako. Just hate the design of some of these planets. Just, ugh. That's why I like the DLC. The DLC is rugged enough to make sense, but it's mostly flat. You can just enjoy the game and not fight the terrain so much. Okay. Ooh. Oh, I almost had it. Got it. High explosive. Okay. Now I do need to actually make sure my grenades are updated here. Let's do that one. Or do I want incendiary? Nah, we'll do explosive. There we go. And I think we're lacking 4 grenades. That's the hardest thing. I really wish I could like create grenades because I use them quite a bit. When you do Insanity, it just helps tremendously. But I run out of them so quick. It's like I could hold 100 grenades. I can't find any grenades. That's the problem. Whoop. Okay. There we go. All right. Come on now. Ooh. It always seems like every playthrough I approach the Geth the same direction. I never learn from my previous mistakes. And that's because I probably approach the map the same way every time too. But I believe we have the upper hand here. Oh no, no. Get back up there. Mako. Oh boy. Whew. I missed. Oh, I missed again. I keep missing. Uh-oh. We're not in a good place. There we go. There we go. There we go. Finally hit it. There we go. Now we can focus on the turrets. Ooh. Now it's just one guy. Oh my, and he got me too. Of course he did. There we go, finally. I was about to say, he's got more hit points than I thought he had. But he's finally down. Alright, let's go. Let's get this done. Alright. And if we die, I'm going to blame Bree. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, first aid interface, so that's good. We can put that on Garrus real quick. Because his... yeah, he needs better armor. For sure. Let's give him that. Yeah, this is like one of the worst armors we could use. I don't like it, but that's okay. It's not too different from its own. I just don't like the face shield. Tally. Let's see what you got. Interface 1. I thought we had a second one. I guess not. I need to get some of these first aid interfaces. And oh yeah, Garrus, his assault rifle. Let's upgrade that real quick. And we want this guy, basic rounds, and he needs to have I don't want, I think the sensor, well, we could give him the sensor, I guess. It doesn't matter. That's fine. For our own, let's do... Yeah, we have shield bypass. Yeah, so that's what we want. We want, but this one, the high caliber, we want, where'd it go? I thought. I guess not. Okay. So we'll go with that. And our Cypher tool's not bad, but it's got no tech cooldown bonus or med recharge bonus. It's all just shields. So hopefully we'll get a better one here soon. Save. Let's go into the bunker. Let's do it. Yeah, already they're jamming us. Got him. That's one.
Form up.
Shields disabled.
Got him. Okay. So they're both down and I'm not shocked.
Thanks.
Come on, Tally. You got this.
Rally round.
Let's let their health get refilled. And then we'll do it some more. But the trick here is just to kind of take this slow. This thing. Let's do marksman over here. And we need to do AI hacking right there. I was looking for that and I didn't have it. Okay. So let's let them get their health back. Take it slow. Give us a chance to let us get the cooldown on Unity too. Slow, yeah. Nice and slow. Yeah, Dr. Fluff. This is an insanity run, so we're just kind of like taking it nice and slow and making sure we don't die constantly. But I think we're getting there. Come on, you. Ooh. Yeah, Tally's not... Sounds insane, yeah. Yeah. How are you doing? Mass Effect fan by chance? What? So I did the AI hacking, but I don't think it did anything to him. Almost down. We almost got him. Ooh. We almost got him. Oops. Of course. Yeah. Well, you know, I don't know. It's good to see you, though. Good to have you in here. I thought I got him. Oh, that's a different one.
To me.
Okay, so Tally's almost basically 100%. So let's see if we can't. There he is. Got him, finally. Woo. Finally. So these stalkers, of course, are everybody's favorite. Everybody loves them.
To me. Powering up.
Oh no! I did not see the big the big guy up there. Are you? Are you, Tally? did not see the Juggernaut up there. I totally forgot about him. As the last Geth falls, you hear music from across the room. On the monitor, Quarian stands before a hushed crowd, warbling a mournful a cappella of worlds and innocence lost. The recorded song is dispatched to the Geth worlds beyond the Perseus Veil. The transmitter shuts down. Nice. Got it. All right.
Perimeter clear.
Well, welcome on in. I've got, we do some YouTube videos. I'm going to be starting to do some lore videos. Mainly it's just been cinematic playthroughs at this point, though. But I wanted to lay down that foundation before we did the lore video, so that way we kind of have a background for what happens. But it's good to see you. Chemical rounds. And I figured I'd do these quests first to lay down the foundation for our XP, so that way when we start doing the main missions, they're not as, tricky or hard to do. You can just kind of get through them. But yeah. The Guardian 3. So suddenly Garrus has some great armor. So I don't typically take Garrus a whole lot, but I started looking at this, and Bree convinced me that I should be bringing him. I actually see a good reason to bring him now, because if our main is an engineer doing the decryption and the computer skills, electronics, I don't need Garrus to do that. And so I can focus on his assault skills. And after that, which we're almost maxed already, I can focus on his first aid, which would definitely help us in an Insanity playthrough. So for the first time in a while, I may be using Garrus more than I normally do, thanks to Bree. I wouldn't have brought him ordinarily. She was like, I like him. Take him. Okay. Bree is one of my mods. Let's see here. All right. Let's save real quick. You discover a number of encrypted Geth data files. In the proper hands, they could reveal much about the evolution of the Geth since the banishment of the Quarians. Let's download it. And we will give that, of course, to Tali and serve as our loyalty quest for her. Never understood how mods worked. Well, mods, we mean like moderators for the stream. So if basically I am busy doing something and chat is acting up, then the moderator can take over and handle it. But we're talking about, like, for mods for this game, I don't typically use mods in most games. I kind of like playing them vanilla, except for games like, of course, Skyrim. I mean, I don't know of anybody who plays Skyrim without some mods. There are some mods that fix games for necessity. Like right now we're playing KOTOR 2 on Twitch, and there is a mod that unlocks the content that was never released that really would have helped some of the in-game information. So that is almost kind of a necessity. But if you're talking about mods for games, I don't know if you were talking about that or chat mods. Didn't know. There we go. So now we can go back to the Normandy. Now I could explore more, but I don't need to. This is not that kind of a playthrough. We're not trying to 100% this one. We're just having fun and having dialogues, and let's go talk to Tali. Okay. And off stream, I'll probably break down the gear that we have into Omni Gel and sell the other materials. Y'all don't have to be here for all that. All right, let's see what she says.
Shepard, I need to talk to you. It's important.
Is something wrong?
You know the data you took from those Geth control nodes? The information you uploaded to Alliance Control? I want a copy of it.
Any kind of mods. Doesn't matter what they are. Well, they're two different kinds, of course. Moderators, like I said, are more for like streaming, the chat mods. They just kind of, they don't police it. They just, make sure everything stays in control. And then, of course, mods for games are just mods for games. I mean, they modify the game to where if you want to wear a different outfit for Mass Effect that's not in game, they just can be made outside of the game and then put into a program where it integrates with the files, and you can use it as a customized item in game. But like I said, I don't really use a lot of those for most base games. All right, I understand.
You want to bring this data back to the migrant fleet?
Those files have information that could be vital to our efforts to understand the Geth. It could be the key to helping us reclaim our homeworld.
If I give you this data, your pilgrimage is over. You'll go back to your own people.
Not right away. I'll stay with you as long as it takes to stop Saren. But my people need this.
It'll take years to decipher and analyze the data.
Maybe even decades, but it's worth the time. This information will give us new insight into how the Geth have changed and evolved over the past centuries.
Go ahead, make a copy.
My people, I owe you a great debt, one I can never repay. The only thing I can offer in return is what you already have. My solemn promise to stay with you until Saren and his Geth armies are defeated.
I never wanted anything more.
Thank you, Shepard.
Hey, we finally got a Paragon after all these missions. So there we go. We did her mission, and do this one. There we go. Which is the main thing I wanted to do during this stream. Kind of get that one out of the way, because I knew once we had that one, and it would give us more equipment that we needed, and enough levels that we should be able to now probably go get Liara without much difficulty. Because there's a ton of Geth. Some of those areas are really, really open, and if you don't have enough powers and whatnot, I mean, those Geth hit hard. Yeah, no Renegade run? I've done them in the past. This one is just like whatever comes our way, but right now, so far, it's been a Paragon run. But it's really not even so much that. We've only got 3 bars into Paragon. Yeah, I mean, I've got videos of, choices if you like, shoot Rex on the beach or have Ash shoot Rex on the beach, whichever one. They both obviously Renegade. The only problem with that decision is that's a permanent decision. So if you want Rex or need him, for other stuff, obviously he's gone after that. But of course you can always change your mind. And two, if you run the, what is it called? That little prequel, you can you can alter the decision you made from one. So you can run a pure Renegade run and then not necessarily, you can transplant your character, but not necessarily the decisions. But anyway, whatever. So, this is where we're at, and I need to add some more to Spectre training next, but I wanted to get all my electronics as high as I could and decryption all as high as I could, so that way when we start, going on different bunkers and whatnot, and I can open things. Next, like I said, we'll focus on the Spectre training, and then first aid finally, or maybe just pistols, one of the two. Yeah, I forgot, actually, the basic armor. Once I get the pistols unlocked, I can do more basic armor, so our survivability, especially in Insanity, will go way up. So we're actually at level 9. A lot of times if I go straight to Liara, I'm going at level 5, and it's just, it's not the easiest, but I think we did it the smart way this time. But anyway, I will probably catch you guys. I'll probably end it right here, but I will catch you guys later. And I know, I've said it 1,000 times, and I'll say it 1,000 more. If you spend me 5 minutes with me, 5 seconds with me, 5 hours with me, whatever it is, the most important thing you can give me is your time. So If you like what you see, subs, of course, are free in YouTube. Give me a sub so that you can get alerts when we go live, which will be every Friday, doing these Mass Effect runs. And then I work on the weekend. I do video recording for videos, and I'm in the, I just took a little 2-week break after the new year, and I'm back to recording videos and whatnot. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, Dr. Fluff. But the VODs are there, and I do record these. I upload in the 2K, so it's in 1440. So you get to see Mass Effect in all of its beautiful glory now that it's been redone. So I will check you guys later, and I appreciate you coming by. And if you have any questions or concerns, of course, always give me a message. I'm available. Make any comments, like the video, put your comment. If you have any questions, well, let's talk lore. Next time anybody's on, have your questions or banter. Like Bree was saying, she wanted to know why I wasn't taking Garrus, because she loves Garrus. That was the reason why she wanted to know. But I was like, I don't really typically use Garrus, but I can see now this run might be one where we could use him. So maybe we will. But I will check you guys later, like I said. And until next week, and y'all take care. And I also stream on Twitch, and if you want to see me there, we do a lot of informal playthroughs of various games there, mostly BioWare. We're doing KOTOR 2 and Pentiment, which is made by Obsidian, kind of a branch from the old BioWare. But y'all take care. Thank you very much.